building a multi-million-dollar home and paying no taxes on it ever. Sounds like a dream, right? But some developers have struck deals that allow them to do just that. In exchange, they say they're offering a public service, but not everyone believes that it's worth the price. Andrea Lucia has been investigating and joins us now with this story. Andrea?
Yeah, Ken, these are multi-million-dollar, multi-family developments. And while they may not look like it, they are designated as affordable housing projects. Because of that, they don't pay property taxes or sales taxes like the rest of us. It amounts to a massive tax break for developers and ultimately a bigger tax burden for you and me. And while it is happening statewide, in Plano, it has the city right now challenging its own housing authority. The Latitude apartment complex along the George Bush Turnpike in Plano boasts of luxury living. It's where, according to its website, modern luxury meets classic sophistication. The Collin County Tax Assessor's Office estimates the new development would, under normal circumstances, contribute more than $1.5 million in property taxes to the area this year alone. Instead, it and many other multi-million-dollar properties that have pledged to provide affordable housing will pay nothing at all.
We're really seeking to understand the projects and understand what they've actually done to fulfill the premise that they were created under.
Plano City Manager Mark Israelson noticed a recent surge of developments in Plano operating as public facility corporations. Their tax-free status cuts local government's annual tax revenue here by more than $12 million. The Texas legislature in 2015 opened these big tax breaks up to developers to incentivize affordable housing. But now the city of Plano is going to court to question if that's actually happening.
Are they actually becoming affordable? Are we actually seeing them move into that affordable category?
I sat down with Dave Young, executive director of the Plano Housing Authority, which signed off on 13 of these PFC deals in Plano. He says they make the area affordable for people working in retail, restaurants, and even at City Hall. We found roughly half the PFCs here, though, market themselves not for their low cost, but for their luxury.
Are we subsidizing luxury complexes?
You're still in Plano. You're still in a top-tier multifamily environment. You can't just say, oh, well, I'm going to make affordable housing, but it's going to be extremely low end. You get 4 walls and a door.
But aren't there people who just need 4 walls and a door?
There are. Where do you find that in Plano?
We tracked down residents at the Jada Legacy and Opal Legacy apartments, both PFCs. Do you consider this affordable housing?
Yes.
The rent here is lower, they say.
Roughly how much you pay in rent?
About $1,800 total with everything.
$1,800? That's affordable?
No, but I mean, it's worse in other places.
Developers who strike PFC deals aren't obligated to decrease rent by any specific amount, but they do agree to set aside at least half their units for low-income residents, defined by state law as those who make up to 80% of the median household income for a family of 4 in the area. In the Dallas metro area, that equates to families earning $82,500 or less.
We know that the greatest need for housing is for people who make incomes much lower than that.
Ben Martin with Texas Housers, a nonprofit dedicated to low-income housing, says despite the big tax breaks they receive, many PFCs don't end up substantially lowering their rents. The program, he says, also requires a little accountability.
There's really not a lot of oversight.
With that point, Young agrees.
There's still no compliance regulations established by the state. We made our own.
So the state law didn't require any compliance?
None.
In court records, Plano has questioned whether anyone is checking to see that developers are doing what they promised.
How do you know these complexes are complying?
We are actually looking at the tenant files, eyes on. We look at pay stubs, we calculate the annual rent, and make sure that those files are in compliance. We are not taking anyone's word. We are on site.
Lawmakers in Austin this year did reform the program, requiring that new PFCs reserve some units for renters in an even lower income bracket, those earning $61,800 or less in the Dallas area. New PFCs will also have to undergo annual compliance audits and get approval from local taxing entities. Existing PFCs, though, won't be subject to the new rules.
If a bad deal has gone through, that property, as long as it's in compliance with the old grandfathered in rules, doesn't have to pay property taxes for the life of the property.
Did you, knowing the writing was on the wall, push some of these deals through?
We did not push them through, but we did not pause them either. At one point, city management came to our board meeting and said, we would like for you to pause. Our board then said, what are we waiting for? People are still in a desperate need right now. And if we don't do this, who will? The city had taken very limited action on promoting or providing affordable housing. If they weren't going to do it, we are.
The city says in its legal filing, it's only trying to ensure funding for affordable housing is being used in the most effective way. And it's got serious questions about whether this is it. If it does find evidence that PFC isn't abiding by the terms of its deal, the city could seek back taxes or try to get their status revoked. The mayor also has the power, we're told, to replace everyone on the Housing Authority board if he decides he doesn't like what they're doing.
Andrea, so much to get to on this, but I do want to ask you, do housing authorities benefit from these deals? I think that's a big question that a lot of people want.